Alright, now that the stacked UVs is out of the way, let's close that one out. I would like to keep my layer information, but I really don't need it. So I'm just going to close that out. Here is my unique UVs. So I'm going to run through the same process I did. In this case, I'll paste this in. Paste as, new layer. And then again, doing the scale. Control out. Keep that lock on. What I hate is the fact that you can scale, but you can't move and scale. Like you can either move or scale, and that's it. But you can't move and scale at the same time. That seems frustrating to me. Well, this time, before I had to just shrink it like a little bit. Now, I'm going to have to shrink it a lot. So let's see what happens. The wood grain compared to the board. Now I would say that's even too big. So smaller. Right about there. So in this case, I lost a lot of resolution. There's no doubt about it. But that's okay. Think about it. If you have stacked UVs or unique UVs like these, you would just have to find a higher res wood texture. Wow, that was really hard to say. You have to find a really high wood texture. So let's go back to scale, and remember I can scale it this way quite a bit and it's not going to hurt it. Okay, did I make it all the way to that shell? No. Ah. This is because I made fun of you, isn't it, GIMP? What are you doing? Oh, there we go. Sweet. So I think that covered up that shell. I'm just going to make this shell just a little bit bigger, and I'm going to take and use this shell over and over again. And I won't have to do any blending this way. So just a little bit more. Okay, now that I have that, let's edit, copy it, edit, paste as, new layer. Okay, put that side by side. Try not to let it touch any of the other shells below here, because then it'll look weird. Edit, paste as, new image, no, paste as, new layer. Move that off to the side. Okay, then I'm just going to trim it right here. Try this, see if this works. Good. I just highlighted it with the selection tool and hit delete. It worked out quite well. I like this where this is going, so what I'm going to do is just continue with its path as far as edit, paste as, new layer. Grab the move tool, move that down. Try not to let it touch the other shells. Down here I'm going to have to cut that out, so I will. Edit, paste as, new layer. Edit, paste as, new layer. A lot more work with the unique UVs, right? Right? Sometimes an instructor changes their mind too. I think at the very beginning I said, hey, I like unique UVs a little bit better. And here's that thing again. There we go. If it gets stuck panning around, hit the spacebar a couple times, it'll snap out of it. Okay, there we go. So far, so good. Let's merge these down a little bit, because that way I'm not handling so many layers. Okay, there we go. I still have the edit paste as new layer feature. And this is where I got to cut some of this a little bit right off the top. So I can use the selection tool, go to the next layer down and hit delete. Pan over here. Let's see if there's anything over here I need to cut. It sure is, right here. Delete. So, a little bit of cleanup. And I see there's a little bit of scoshing right here I got to do. Scale. I'm just going to scale this just by a little bit, just to cover over that area. There we go. Okay, so let's keep continuing to do this, shall we? Let's move this one here. So I'll click on that layer and moved it. Edit. Paste as new layer. Get that from the top. Okay, again, a little bit of trimming here so it doesn't interrupt any of the other shells. Delete. And then these three layers right here can be layer, merge down, layer, merge down. And then I'll scale all three of those that were all three. Select none. And I'll scale these down a little further. Okay, only 3 little things left. 7-minute video on tiling wood. Wow. Paste as a new layer. I can see that student that's going to watch this. They're going to be like, geez, I'm so sick of him making mistakes with GIMP. I gotta watch it because there's probably some loyal fans to GIMP, and I'll tell you what, there's loyal fans of Blender, and if you even mock one thing of Blender, like 14,000 nerds will crawl up you to lynch you. So I've learned not to mock it, but just to point it out scientifically. Keep in mind it's free, so everybody and his brother has GIMP. Like Maya, you can make fun of Maya, and you can get away with that because it costs money and people are bitter about it. But the new Blender, I would say I have not found anything that I want to gripe about. Or I would not be doing this entire series in Blender. Paste as, new layer. That one. Move that one over here. And there we go. We are done with the wood. Nice. Okay, so layer, merge down. And we're going to save this as unique UVs. Period TGA. All right, Targa, unique UVs, over here, save image, merge layers, save. And I will meet you in the next video where we apply both maps and kind of compare the two.